All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Najee Jones, the host of the Fairly Decent podcast. I want to start off by introducing everybody. First of all, I want to thank everybody for joining us on our first episode, and I want to go ahead and take an opportunity to introduce the cast. First and foremost, world traveler, and the only person that I know that's in the same tax bracket as Bill Gates, Abhishek.
I thought you about to say me. My bad. Go ahead.
Nah, not quite.
It should have been.
I ain't got to
It's
use
for sure you, man.
Nah, not at all. Next we have Wear Brim's co-founder and the only person that I guarantee that I get into it with on every topic on this podcast, Taj Crutch.
You already know how y'all doing.
Next, childhood friend of mine, and probably the only person I go to about any wide variety of things, from cooking to sports to finances. Set Matt. Feel free to speak. And then last but not least, another childhood friend of mine, probably one of the smartest people I know, but he's 100% earned the name Can't Get Right because of just his everyday accolades. Taryn Love.
Whoa. Let's not get beside ourselves now.
How are you gentlemen doing today?
Man, good. Excited to be on the podcast.
Same as yesterday, man.
Same as yesterday?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You was
fantastic,
counting money yesterday?
Chilling over here in the mountains, man.
I see you,
I'm
man.
mad right now, man. I'm mad right now. They sent me a check for no reason. They sent me a check for no reason. Oh man, I'm about to send it back. I'm mad, man. They played me.
Yo, Taj, send it this way, dude.
Right. Like, wait, you wasn't expecting it? You forgot what you made last year or something?
Man, they messed me up, man.
You ain't filed 2019 yet, so they going off 2018. That's old money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel better now.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand. Left this year. But anywho, but yeah, how you guys been doing? I know pretty much every podcast, entertainment outlet, or any type of pretty much any type of media period is talking about just current events. We all know what that means. So just so we can go ahead and get it out the way, we're gonna talk about that first. But of course, no one here is dumb, and we all know that what's going on in the world right now with a global pandemic known as COVID-19, the coronavirus. So I really wanted to start off by talking about basically how it's been affecting us personally, individually, and then also, for the most part, all of us are in the same industry, with the exception of Seth. He's in the finance industry. All the rest of us are in some form of IT. I wanted to kind of just shed some light on how it's affecting our individual industries as well. I guess I'll start. So me personally, I don't really do much anyway. I'm what people may consider an introvert. So I'm just in the house chilling anyway, for the most part. I will say that it makes an introvert want to get out more because
Clearly,
just being told you can't go out is way different to not wanting to deal with people. It's just, you take for granted some of the things that you do on the daily, that effortlessly, without even any effort, that now those simple things you actually gotta go above and beyond to try to get them done now. And then as far as work goes, I'm blessed, one, to still have my job, but two, that my job is unaffected by this. My kind of role or my company itself, we write code. So, and we write code for a lot of the big players in the different industries. So we this didn't affect us at all. Not to say that long term it could or couldn't, but right now it hasn't affected us. So really the only shift in my employment is just being, of course, working from home, which I will say, working from home is probably one of the most distracting things I've ever done, because literally something as simple as just going to the bathroom is just completely distracting. So I mean, it's been a while, but it gets bored after a week. but yeah, I mean, like I say, it's been an adjustment to say the least, and none of us know how long it's gonna last. Just hopefully that none of us are directly impacted, and if so, hopefully it doesn't impact us before it's all back to the norm. But yeah, I give it up to one of y'all. How things been going with y'all?
I just say this before someone else started. Anybody's impacted by this, Najee will take care of everything. So
man, please,
we're good to go.
Man, please,
we're good to go.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm the one in the finance industry. So Shedrick here again. For those that are listening to you, I'll get used to our voices. But yeah, so I work at a large investment company. And for us, my company, I think it's made our company kind of adjust faster than they normally would. With it being such a large company, they're kind of a little bit slower on making large moves. But I think it's made the company a little bit more nimble in its approach. So we've all been working from home for the most part for the last about 3 to 4 weeks now. And that's something that was not in our policy before, or not in our job description before, but now it's the day-to-day norm. For me, working from home has been amazing. I get to spend time with my wife and see her all day, but she's also sitting right here, so shameless plug. But yeah, I get to spend more time with my wife, and really, I probably saved as much money in the last month as I've done in probably the last 2 or 3. Like the expenses have gone way down. So like not eating lunch out,
Yeah.
Going to the kitchen to grab a sandwich as opposed to going to Wendy's to grab $10 worth of lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
Look, I feel like I'm spending money recklessly because of that. Like, man, I ain't ever had this much money before.
First of all, I'm mad that you said $10 at Wendy's. I'm what they do, the 5 for 5, whatever, 4 for 4. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I ain't no $10 at Wendy's.
I mean, if you mess around and get a 4 for 4 and then get another 4 for 4.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah. Work the system.
4 for 4.
Really, what I wanted was 10 nuggets, but I'll settle for 8. But you know what I'm saying.
You settle for okay, cool.
Look, I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. I forgot Wendy's had 4 for 4 because I try to refrain from going to Wendy's because I think they're high. Like, damn, man. Every time I go to Wendy's, I end up spending like $11.
Get a bacon, spicy chicken sandwich or something like that.
But nah, for me, quarantine it's been good. It's been good. It allowed me to show my ability at work. If anyone don't know, this is Taj. I'm in the IT field like Nadia was speaking of. But a lot of my company really said I improved, or they really seen why they hired me. Basically, I was able to show my ability and being able to get my whole company working remotely in like 3 days once we got the news. So everyone was impressed by that. So I was still blessed to be able to still have a job right now, and being able to work remotely. Like Najee said earlier, it gets boring after a week, but I'm not complaining to be able to still get that check every other week at all, because if not, I'll be calling one of y'all.
About the one government giving out either.
Right. I'm complaining. But
y'all
complain. But nah, it's been very I don't think I was taking it as serious as I should in the beginning, because I don't know, I just didn't think it was gonna get this deep, honestly. Once I seen the NBA shut down, I was like, okay, yeah, it's time to get things. Let me go buy some toilet tissue and stuff like that. Let me get in my house, buy a mask and whatnot. But what really hit me hard is when my stepmom got corona. So that kind of opened my eyes to like, okay, this is serious. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, she was able to fight it off, and she's just going through the recovery phase and just getting back 100%. So everything's good on that, you know what I'm saying? So, but just by her getting it, it was like, all right, this is something serious, So that kind of like opened my eyes.
And to kind of speak on that before obviously and Taryn go, it was the same for me. Like I probably was still moving the same. I wasn't moving the same because I was I was hearing about all the stuff, so I was being a little cautious, but I wasn't being as cautious as I could have been, like moving around, like still going out without mask and just like kind of being up on people and stuff like that. It wasn't until like somebody I know from like, so of course everybody that knows me knows I work out, and I go to Crunch Fitness on Chamley here in Atlanta, and one of my homeboys that work out in there that I used to work out with, you know, every blue moon. I ain't work out with him a lot, but every blue moon, he was real cool. Me and him would just chop it up every time we saw each other. And, you know what I'm saying? He was just a cool ass dude. I found out like a couple weeks ago that he passed from Corona. And like, when I found out about that like shook me. And, that was like a whole, like, it was like, it woke me up, and it made me take this shit real serious because he wasn't that much older than us. So if he could catch it and then pass from it, you know what I'm saying? Anybody could catch this shit. So that's when I really just started being like real cautious and making sure that I don't get caught slipping and stand on my P's and Q's when it comes to like the Corona shit, because like that shit, when that happened, that shit like kind of rocked me.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's serious. Like, it's been good for me so far. Just staying in the house, staying quarantine. Just staying in the house and just chilling, you know. But that's me. What y'all got over there? What about Taryn?
Well, as you guys know, I'm Taryn, but you know, I have a beautiful daughter, and it's affected her more than it's affected me because, you know, she's a, you know, top of the line cheerleader, so she's not able to, you know, do her practices and go to her events anymore. And, you know, I like to take her to the park, and we ain't able to do things like that anymore. She really doesn't understand because she's like, you know, 3 years old, so she's gonna ask me to go to the park every day because, you know, we were going, you know, 2-3 times a week. You know, we go get our ice cream and stuff like that. So we haven't really been doing as much of that. We just been chilling at the house, you know, jumping on the trampoline, the backyard, you know, different things like that. But I'm also in the IT field, you know, I'm application administrator. But before the COVID, you know, started, you know, affecting us, how it's affecting us, I was working pretty much 2 telework days a week anyways. So for me, this is just, it just made it everyday teleworking business as usual, which I'm blessed, you know, be able to go to work every day, make money to support, you know, my wife and kid, and, you know, but other than that, I've just been, you know, playing a lot of 2K, you know, so.
For real, man. Right. I ain't never played them before. What they like?
Trash.
But nah, that was like I said, I you know what I'm saying, something like this affects everybody differently. Like I said, it's not going to affect everybody the same way, especially since we're all different people. We all have different day-to-days. What about you, Opposite?
Yeah, man,
big baller.
Right. No, it's kind of the same boat actually, because like you guys were saying before it even hit, matter of fact, I was trying to like plan a trip before things got like super locked down.
You don't
so
say.
I was trying to get a trip in before. I knew we'd be like locked in for a while, so I was like, man, I got to get a trip in and then just be at home for a couple months. But yeah, didn't take it too seriously at first, but then came back pretty quick to Atlanta once we got like the federal stuff going. But it's actually not too bad, man. I've had to I got a lot of time to like do stuff that I just want to do, like read and stuff that I didn't have time before. But I totally missed the gym. I miss like going out, going to the trail, all the regular stuff you kind of take granted for. So it's been like that. But in regards to work, it's interesting. I work in an airline, so like all the stuff you guys hear on the news about like airlines just flying planes that are completely empty, it's like completely true. And like all the care stuff that you hear on the news and all the people that like the cargo that airlines have been shipping back and forth. It's interesting to like be on the inside and seeing all that like play out. But yeah, other than that, it's just been business as usual.
My question for you, Abhishek, if one person bought a ticket, did that mean they still got to fly?
Yeah, well, so a lot of the like the airline, like the airlines that have what they've done so far is like they've kind of skeletoned out their schedules. So, like right now, if there were like 7 nonstops between like Atlanta to New York, they only have 1, and so all those people who booked on all those 7 aircraft are now on 1 plane. So that's what they kind of did.
Mm. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm like, hey man, I'll drive. I'm straight on that, all the way straight. What about that? Oh yeah, so one thing I forgot to mention, just in case people want to know, where are we from or where are we located?
Oh, you already know where I'm from.
You know what? Let's not even talk about this. Let's move to the next topic. I don't even want to hear the bull.
Let me tell her why.
So yeah, so of course I'm Najee again, and I'm from Alabama originally, but I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I guess I'll let you guys tell your own piece. Time's go last.
I guess I'll go ahead and go now. You know, I was born in Georgia. I lived in Colorado for a good part of my life. But I've been to Montgomery for a good little minute now. So that's where I'm at. Gumptown, stand up 334. What time is it?
Gump. What is that?
Montgomery.
Oh, okay. What about you, Abhishek?
Born in India, call Atlanta home, but work in Dallas.
See, that's what money look like, first of all. But continue. Say it.
And then me, I'm from the Gump as well, so Montgomery, Alabama. And then I live in Charlotte, North Carolina now. I've been here for a few years. So Charlotte, Queen City, baby.
A few years.
You already know Taj Crutch from Queens, New York.
Man, you've been in Alabama your whole life. Man.
Yo, can I get mine through? God, I let you go, Tan.
All right, I'm gonna let Taj go, and then I got something to add on the end.
Yo, someone fact check Taj real quick.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
No, don't
I'm just gonna ask a question.
Taj Crutch from Queens, New York, by the way of Enterprise, Alabama. But I live in Atlanta, Georgia right now. All right, you can go ahead. Next question.
All right,
no, I'm on next topic.
No, question.
Next topic.
Where were you born? Where were you born?
That wasn't a question. I was born in Florida.
Okay.
Where were you raised? I was only there for like a day.
Where were you raised?
New York. Let's go.
All right, next topic. I don't even want to talk about it no more.
I forgot the answer to the question, but how long did you live in New York, Ty?
Off and on, a couple years. I came to Enterprise about 7th grade.
Word.
And I've been in Enterprise. Excuse me? That's a couple years.
No, I was trying to add something together.
I know you were trying to add it up. Don't worry about it. Yeah, the college.
All right, well, anyway. But yeah, going on to the next topic. Kind of staying on this COVID thing for a while. I know we've all noticed, like I said, our jobs, of course, hadn't so much been affected, but there are a lot of companies that have been affected by it. Some more surprising than others. Like I read the other day on the AMC movie theaters are pretty much have ceased existing because of this, because they were already dealing with like a rough year last year in the last quarter, and I guess they were hoping to make up for it in the upcoming quarters of this year, and this pretty much just killed them as far as revenue goes. So they just pretty much had to close all the doors. So that's something that we won't see coming out of quarantine. Is probably a few movie theaters, but AMC being a big one, because I know here in Atlanta alone it's probably like 12 AMCs around Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And another one, I'm not sure if it's all Gold's Gyms, but I know
it's not
Alabama,
all.
all the
it's like 30 across the United States.
Yeah, some of the Gold's Gyms are closing, which is once again that's a shocker too, especially seeing as the the corporate locations. I can see it from like some of the franchises that wouldn't probably be able to sustain themselves, but the fact that they're closing a lot of corporate locations, that's kind of big too.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna miss
And-
those, man.
And I'm not sure if y'all know any other ones. Say again?
I said I haven't been to the gym since I don't know, but that's messed
Yeah,
up that it's closing. But I just huh?
Well, I can't tell, man. You look a little muscular, man.
I had to put a sweater on today.
But I'm not sure if y'all know of any other companies or not. But like that's big because, like I said, a lot of, and I know Seth's wife, this is kind of her industry, dealing with like conflict and like businesses and pandemics and stuff like this. But just the fact that a lot of these businesses, like the day, going back to what I said before, the day to day and like the stuff we know as being norms coming out of this, everything will probably be different. Like a lot of the stuff around us, we're expecting the pandemic to end, us to be able to go back to business as usual and be able to do all the stuff that we were able to do before. But in all honesty, a lot of the stuff that we used to do may not even exist after this is over.
Right.
Which is big.
Yeah. I think it's tough. Like there was in the news today that the PPP ran out of money. It was like $349 billion that they were giving a small business to sustain their employee base through this crisis, and they're already out of money. So I think you're going to see a lot of large corporations change, and some of them close some of their smaller stores or lower performing stores. But I think where it's probably going to hurt the worst is in the small business community.
Right.
And I think that's unfortunate because your small business community is technically, that's your bar. That's where you go to your bar. That's your local club. That's your local, restaurant that's, relatively not a chain. So it's going to be hard for me to see, especially if this continues for, another month or 2 or 3, how they're going to be able to come back because without any extra funding, because they're probably already short on cash anyway, short on reserves. So that's probably where you're going to see the most hurt, and that's unfortunate.
Right. Because from this whole pandemic, you find out that like through reading and stuff, that a lot of companies, some of them function check to check or revenue by the month, and that affects them just as much as it affects a lot of people who lost their jobs and different things like that.
And shoot, some of these Atlanta buildings and clubs, like people can't go out to the club no more, can't go to no day parties or brunch. So I'm pretty sure a lot of them are closing down, and I know the strippers are hurting right now. I know they hurt.
Right.
Hey, look. As long as OnlyFans is a thing, they ain't hurt.
Oh, that's true. That's another
probably
thing of revenue.
Affect the universities a lot too when they come back. They're probably gonna raise tuition and stuff just to make up from a lot of that money that they were missing from different sporting events, food,
I ain't think about
all
that.
this other stuff.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like right now, my wife's in goes to Troy for her master's, and they had to refund them money that they paid up front for to use at the bookstores or to get stuff to eat. So they had to refund all that. So I can only imagine tuition gonna go up to kind of counter what happened.
Universities are still thriving in a certain extent. It's not like they completely shut down business. Like they're still able to do online classes, but like you said, they aren't making as much revenue as they probably planned for. I would assume that a university works the same as any other business. Like they have goals as far as financially that they planned on in advance, and I'm guessing that all of this is part of it. Like you said, bookstore. Food,
right? All their ancillary revenue, basically.
Right.
Yeah, that's gonna be the biggest thing that hurts the universities is to like you talk about the bookstore. I would imagine the bookstore employees that work at the university, there's no online format for that aside from I guess working the online bookstore, but it's not the same. So there's no need to have a store clerk if there's no physical store. So it's probably some jobs that definitely have been affected even amongst the universities. And then we get into the fall and we don't see universities aren't able to get back to normal, where we don't have like a football season, which is a revenue bringer for a lot of universities, that's where it's gonna be troublesome.
Right, because a lot of these like big D1 schools like your University of Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Clemson, like all these big universities that really bank on college sports, they probably will get hit hard, like more than anything. Because like something like Alabama, I know Alabama, for the ones who aren't familiar, in the city of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, literally, if you've ever been to Tuscaloosa, that city is the campus. Like 80% of that city is the campus. So, and a lot of it, I mean, not to say that it's all about sports, but a lot of that university is centered around its sports. And if you take that away, what happens with a lot of the growth of the university? Because think about it from this perspective. And of course, this isn't going to go on forever. It will end at one point. But let's think about somebody who's trying to make a choice of what college they want to go to right now. And your options, you have all these different options. But right now, you can't physically go to any school. And one of the alluring reasons that you would want to go to a University of Alabama is like the culture and like the sporting events and like being able to be in that environment. But right now you wouldn't be able to. So you may actually alter your decision and go to a way cheaper college just in the interim, because now what college A can offer me the exact same thing as the University of Alabama right now, because I can't physically go to either one of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then,
but I get like this, like some of these some of these high school students that's going to college or, decided to go play a sport at these colleges, if they're not doing school until the next following year, I mean, how is that? I mean, why would you sign? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it because you can't play. You're not gonna be able to play, and then you don't know when they're gonna start this back up. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how long this is gonna last. So how can you determine where you want to go to play school, where you want to go play at, if you don't know how long this is going to last, if you're going to be able to like travel like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you make that decision?
You just brought up
a scholarship, I guess. That's the only way.
You just brought up a good point that I just thought about. How was this pandemic, like, let's just say worst case scenario, it lasts a little bit longer than anyone of us are expecting. How does it affect stuff like sports scholarships, like a football scholarship, basketball scholarship, golf scholarship? Like, are those things that university will still consider giving out, considering the times?
Well, it might be less scholarships. Yeah,
I mean, half of a scholarship.
Exactly. Yeah, because if you think about it, like Seahawks point, a football player gets a 4-year ride. What if his first year ain't no football? So what did you do to deserve the scholarship, or what are you giving us in return for the scholarship? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It may even, like, to be honest with you, like I said, once again, just worst case scenario, last longer than we expect, may even affect like academic scholarships, because now where's that money coming for me to fund these academic scholarships?
Right. So the requirements might get more stringent, like instead of a 3.5, you'll need a 3.8 or different stuff like that. So that could affect.
Oh man, I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, but like I said, that sucks for the students, because like a lot of these students, like I said, they didn't do anything wrong. They never done anything wrong. They made all good grades with the hopes of having a full ride. That's the whole reason why they're looking at this college, is for the full ride.
Speaking of the students right now, they like, especially like you a high school senior right now. Think about, like, you missed your prom, probably gonna miss your graduation.
Everything,
you're gonna miss, and that's like some big milestones that you want to see, you want to be a part of.
Right. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, it really does. Cause like I said, like we're all older, and like I said, those are like you said, milestones, like stuff that we have fond memories of when we walked across the stage, when we went to prom, when we did all these things, and like for it to be basically stripped away from you, and you, like I said, once again, didn't do anything to deserve it. It's kind of unfair.
Yeah, and I feel like walking across that stage is bigger than getting handed that piece of paper. Honestly, just when I say that, it's like because you have your family there just to see you walk and shake that hand. You know what I'm saying? That paper, they of course that's the key thing. But they coming to see you just get up on that stage with your cap and gown and walk across that stage. You know what I'm saying? Look, that paper come later.
Not to mention, I know we all done been there before. When the graduation night, when you go out to eat at like Applebee's or something, and everybody start passing you out that money, like, oh man, look, congratulations, young blood, congratulations, young blood.
Graduation money getting slim now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't afford to send that off. They gotta buy toilet tissue right now.
Balling graduation night, like, whoo, boy, ain't never seen this type of money before.
Right.
Telling you, I got about a good $200.
I still remember when I graduated, man, I had the whole arena packed, man. When I walked across the stage, the whole thing went crazy. Like, you would have thought I was Michael Jordan or something.
Sure.
Seth was there, man. He could tell you about it.
Whatever you say, T. You live in your own reality anyway, so.
Right.
I knew Seth before he knew me. He dunked on me before, but I ain't gonna talk about that. Let's go to the next question.
Hold on, man. I need time to finish this, bro.
Nigel can't even dunk it. He could probably dunk on you.
Whoa. Calm down now, man. I've been working on my squats. But,
I didn't believe that.
Well, but yeah, kind of staying in the same topic. How you guys think that basically this entire thing has been affecting the collegiate athletes? Like basically going back to what we were just saying as far as like scholarships and more so eligibility to like go to the next level. Because like right now, if I'm a senior especially, and I was trying to get one more like really good like viewing.
Are you talking about basketball?
I'm talking about it, period. Because, like, we don't know we don't know if there will be a college football season.
Yeah, college about to be real tough with that. So if you're a college basketball senior, chances are, you just trying to get your degree when it comes to the NBA. But bye for you.
And like I said, if there's not a college football season, that will suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the spring sports like softball, baseball, track and field,
baseball.
The NCAA announced that they're going to allow the schools to let the seniors have another year, and I think sophomores, juniors, freshmen, so all of them will basically have another year of eligibility. So right now they've done something to kind of repair the damage for the spring sports, but for like basketball, who was in the middle of their season about to go into March Madness, that's probably where it hurt the worst. Until we see a football season when we played in the fall or not. Because basketball, you won't even have a championship listed for 2020. So that's like there's no champion in any conference or in nationally as well. So that sucks.
And then it also affects them because they're not going to be able to work out with the team, do the team workouts or all that stuff because, you're supposed to be practicing social distance. So they might be able to do their personal workout at their house or whatever, but it ain't the same like practicing like football, practicing without pads at your house, doing strength training. It's not the same as running on the field, tackling, and all the other stuff. So it can affect their game.
Like right now, we all know, like I said, directives has been passed down on a state-by-state basis as far as like stay at home and stay out of like physical contact with people. Like I said, if that goes on further than what we expect it to, and they're still hoping to have some type of like college football season. At what point do you start the season at it? Because like now let's say if they're talking about starting the season around August, but none of this kind of gets lifted into around August. At what point do you practice getting ready for the season? Like, does the season start day one right there, or do you actually give them a couple months to prepare for the season? Because we haven't had any type of interaction with our teammates, with our coaches, with anything leading up to that point.
I think people are just trying to get on the field or on the courts as quick as they can. Practice, no practice. They're just trying to get out there.
I'm sure they'll be ready, but teams probably won't look. Initially, they probably will look worse than they normally would in week one.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But they'll eventually get going.
They'll get in the rhythm.
And I don't follow college basketball as closely as y'all do. But have they come out and said anything as far as like this past college basketball season that got cut short? Have they come back and said anything as far as like the seniors and stuff to see if they would like extend any type of eligibility for them or anything?
Not that I heard of.
Yeah, it's a wash for them. They said they're not. They're not extending their eligibility. So if you were a senior, your season's done. If you're a junior, you're not a senior, and so on and so forth.
Because the season played through.
It's over.
It was at the tournament games or whatever.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty much at the tournament anyway, but like I say, that still sucks for them.
But I don't think it would affect their it won't affect most people's draft stock because most people like who the like top players gonna be the top players. They're not gonna change much. It might affect one of those guys that like good, but he really ain't been seen. But then in the tournament he shows out, and then he gets the opportunity.
Right.
So it may affect him.
And that's more so what I was getting towards anyway. Like that one anomaly that none of us saw coming. Now their opportunity is pretty much shot. But like I said, that's only if like the butterfly effect. You never know what would have happened if this didn't happen.
Yeah.
But like I said, as far as like the college football season goes, like it's just remain to be seen, and then that goes the same for like baseball, golf, and any of the other summer sports.
Yeah.
Well, with college football, I'm good with.
Your president said he opened the U.S. up on May 1st, so we're gonna see how that goes.
I don't think it's gonna go over so well.
Come on now, Georgia ain't opening up at least.
Come on, man.
To May 13th. That dunk is dead, bro.
I just hope my industry have more strict standards than he does.
Look, I got a better chance of winning the lotto before the U.S. come back open on the 1st.
But I live in Alabama, so they might be with it. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama. Like I said, I just came from Alabama like a week ago, and I didn't know y'all shut down. I still see everything in the state open. I'm like, man, is anything closed? But
all essential places, man. Food, grocery store. That's it, right?
Look, I ain't no hustle on
the trap still open.
Look, I saw on Instagram the other day this girl was at the nail salon. I was like, bro, where is she at? And she was real deal in the nail salon. I was like, man,
as you can see, I haven't got a hair. As you can see, I haven't got a haircut in weeks, so I don't know if the barbershop's open.
Oh, we can
see. By choice though.
I'm looking real rough over here. Please.
You need a brim. Hey, wear brims. You need a brim.
Oh yeah.
Man, plug myself.
I'll be on the lookout. I gotta go
shameless plug.
Be sure to check out the website. They got a lot of new merchandise coming up.
Shameless plug.
Exactly.
But
shameless plug.
But yeah, kind of staying on the same topic of sports. How you guys think just overall it's been affecting just like professional sports? Because I mean, as we know, that's kind of like that's part of the everyday norm that we're used to. Like you come home and you turn on ESPN or you turn on Fox Sports or you turn on one of the dedicated sports channels like NBA TV, NFL, and there's always something to watch, regardless if you like the sport or not. Because we all know that we get to that part of the summer where ain't nothing on but like PGA and bowling and all that stuff. But there's always some type of sport on TV. And now we've come to a norm where there's literally nothing on. Like I've turned to ESPN one day and they were playing movies on there. I was like, what the hell is this? So I'm like,
I've been
Rudy. So how do you think it's been affecting sports, and then also how you think the different media outlets that broadcast sports or that report on sports have been like managing these times?
Well,
I feel like they're scrambling a little bit. I feel like the media is not the media sports like ESPN and all that stuff. I feel like they're just trying to pull stuff out of a hat or make up like different scenarios for them to talk about. Do their job. They talk about LeBron being the best.
But the thing is, like the NBA is going to affect it a lot because the season was going on, so they losing out on so much money. So without all that money that they're losing out on, like, you know, players might have to take pay cuts and all this other stuff. So once they, like NBA, if it gets back afloat, like, will they finish the season? Like, where would the money come from and all this other stuff?
Well, if those players would sign with Rich Paul, then they would get most of their check. I can't talk about if you read the news, most of the Rich Paul clients are the only ones that's getting all their checks. So
well, if the stadiums, they're not. Arenas are not filling up, then nope, they might not get paid. But I've been reading articles that saying they may have to take pay cuts, which is, you know, it's a tough situation because they probably live their life a certain way now.
LeBron told me yesterday, he said he ain't getting no pay. He ain't taking no cut. He told me that person.
But especially if you're a rookie, because you know rookie contracts aren't what I would consider glorious. Especially
they take that G-Wagon they bought.
They're better than what I make.
I mean, yeah, but like I said, you get to like that third, fourth round, you know what I'm saying? You ain't making no.
First of all. We talking about the NBA.
Two rounds.
You ain't gonna make it.
Yeah,
but
you definitely ain't getting no money in the third round.
Right.
It ain't no third.
No, I was talking to NFL. But nah, like I said, if you
like Dakota Prescott.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, but yeah, basically going back to what you guys were just saying, that's kind of a point that I was thinking of as well, as far as like the professional sports owners. Like, you gotta keep in mind that like right now, if things were going on as usual, the owners would be spending money but making money, spending money, making money. They make money from the venues and all the stuff that their arena houses, as far as like games, concerts, whatever the case may be. They're always it's like a reoccurring revenue. They're making money, spending money. But right now, all of those professional sports owners are basically just forking out money because they still have to pay for the facilities. They probably still have to pay a couple paychecks, but they aren't making any money off of the venue itself. So now they're just spilling money into this investment, but they're not seeing any return. And like my whole thing is, I wonder how it's affecting the owners more than anything, because now whenever we do get to a norm to say, all right, we're going to turn everything back on and you can start back having like some type of sporting event, how are they just expected to like basically put a whole new investment in it? It's like, all right, I'm already spending all this money anyway, so let me spend a whole chunk more money try to get all this stuff back up off the ground, because now I got to start everything back up from ground when it's like I'm making an investment on the investment that I already made.
Right.
All like over again. They probably gonna be as packed as ever once sporting events do start back, but a lot of the money they're gonna make is gonna also come from watching, you know, TVs and all that stuff. So they lose a lot of money because there's nothing broadcast there as well. So
yeah, I think that's why the NBA so advocate of trying to get something started back in the summer. That's why they're not canceling games, because I think there's some provision between like the NBA and then the NBA Players Association where they cancel games. So much money has to be paid or not paid as opposed to postpone and reschedule. So that's why they hadn't officially canceled games. Part of the reason why I read that they haven't canceled any games. What were you saying, Todd?
No, I think Abhishek was about to say something. What did you say, Eli?
No. I was gonna say, like what Naj was asking, like from an owner perspective, it's probably like depends on the owner. Like if you have a really good team, you know you're gonna make that money back like later on, and you've probably lost a lot of money right now. But if you have a team that sucks, it's garbage already, and you're paying for the venue and you know nothing's gonna come, that's where probably like your team's you're probably gonna default on your team. You have to like probably end up selling it.
True.
Yeah, a great example of that
the best fans.
Yeah, I'm saying a great example of that actually would be here in Atlanta. The Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks isn't what I would consider a good team, and they literally just renovated their venue. So they just renovated State Farm Arena. It used to be Phillips Arena, now it's State Farm Arena, and that was like a year or two ago. And so now you made that big investment with the anticipation of getting it back in the next coming seasons, and now this happened. So yeah, I can definitely see that was not in the plan for them.
I guess also depends on if.
Do you think teams will cut their rosters? Do you think teams will get smaller rosters? Start doing smaller rosters now?
I don't think so.
No,
that would be one of those things that you don't really expect that could come out of it. Like, you're like, hey, right now I think they carry 13 players. They may cut it down to 11, 10. It wouldn't be something that's like normal, but it'd be something that would like completely change just due to the coronavirus. So yeah, that could be something that gets you got to cut costs somewhere. That might be a way to.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, especially on football teams, they have about 100 people on the team and only like 20.
I think it's what 59,
30 something play.
I think 59.
54, 52 on
the, yeah, 52.
And how many play? 30.
35-ish.
They play.
Yeah.
They're gonna play your defense, your offense, your rotation, and your special teams. So.
Yeah.
Look, another good question. Another good question that can come from this is how you think that this entire pandemic will affect contracts going forward. Because year over year, contracts were getting higher and higher, just incrementally. But now, with this happening, and like you said, it's hitting everybody's pockets. Those contracts may get way smaller now. You may get back to a zone where contracts aren't as high.
Probably at first, but like a pandemic doesn't happen every year. That would just be ridiculous.
Right.
But
keep in mind,
there's probably like a clause in there somewhere that says, hey, if something like this happens, we're probably gonna pull your money. But I can only see it getting like bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and like I said, we kind of look at these industries as having all the money in the world, but you got to keep in mind what Taryn had said earlier. Not to say that any of these teams are, but some companies live check to check, and a lot of companies don't exist anymore because they wasn't expecting something like this to happen. So it's kind of hard to even say that they'll be fine, they'll bounce back, because who knows.
I would say, like, one of the things that could change, though, is the public's appetite for sports or discretionary spending and things of that nature. So if 70,000 people are not interested in going to a football stadium over the next 2 years because of coronavirus or whatever, maybe only you're getting attendances of 40,000, 45,000, 30,000. As opposed to 70,000, like that's a huge revenue change. That's a huge change in the amount of money that's coming in. That type of difference can change some things going forward in the long run.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, because I did just see that on I think it was on IG the other day, where they were saying that once this finishes, sporting events and concerts probably still won't happen for another year and a half. So even once sports do come back,
I feel like the absence is gonna make us fans appreciate sports much more, and I think the arena's gonna be packed at like an all-time high. But I could be wrong. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, you gotta keep in mind. Like I said, I was watching the podcast the other day where it was a movie podcast, and they were basically talking about how when studios film TV shows, even if it's a live TV show, when studios film TV shows or movies, they usually film a couple episodes or a couple chapters ahead. That way they have some stuff in the bank, and they're not just filming episode, releasing episode, filming episode, releasing episode. So they're saying, due to this pandemic, at a certain point, we're going to be consumed all of the pre-existing media, and there won't be any new television shows on TV. And because of that, sports may actually be something that more people flock to because it's some type of live new media in the interim.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these TV shows now, like you said, they recorded like maybe seasons ahead. They're using this time to kind of like maybe they were supposed to bring out the next season in September. I think they bringing it out now because no one has nothing to do but streaming and watching TV and watching shows. So they're like, oh, let's get our views up. So we're going to drop the 5th season that was supposed to drop in September. We're going to drop it right now so people can watch it. Like, because I think that's what they're gonna do, so they can keep things rolling and keep people interested in their TV shows instead of waiting.
Yeah, I think to that point, like, because I think ESPN moved up their Michael Jordan documentary because of that. I think it was supposed to drop in like June or July, but they were like, man, we gotta have something for people to watch because ain't nobody watching SportsCenter.
We watching YouTube, watching all the old stuff.
Nobody watching SportsCenter right now.
Hey,
well, we're watching Floyd Mayweather fights.
That's smart though, because what Terry just said, that's literally what people are doing. They going on YouTube and watching highlights like, well, shit, they already doing it. Let's just put this on ESPN.
Yeah.
Get some attraction to the so people can watch it, re-download the ESPN app again because they probably deleted it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they trying to do.
No, I still get my notification. That thing's still pinging now.
The
NFL draft coming up now. I'm gonna be tuned in like it's a movie.
Look,
they doing it. You said
the front offices are like the NFL. The front offices like the NFL and the NBA and all that, but they ain't never had this much attention before. Like, boy, it's like they the players now. Like anything
the
they do
athletes
right now. Oh, yeah, you heard so and so did this. Man, I can't wait for the season come back.
We're gonna be watching NFL draft like it's the Super Bowl.
Oh, bro, this might be the highest watched NFL draft ever, bro.
Ever.
Like,
It's gonna be all virtual.
And it's all virtual. You gonna have the GM sitting on the couch.
That's
like
wild. That's wild.
They doing fancy football draft. Everybody watching it like, man, that team sound fine.
So y'all see that
Corona robbing people from experiences.
Right.
Corona's robbing people from these experiences, man. For real, man. Because it's like when you young and you want to go to the NFL, NBA, you know what I'm saying? You want to go to these drafts. You want to go to New York or wherever they host it at. You want to walk across stage, shake the commissioner's hand. And now you can't even get the chance to do that because of what's going on. Like it's really robbing a lot of experiences for people. Like even like we were speaking on earlier, a graduation. That's kind of like a graduation for them too. You know what I'm saying? It's another step in their life
to the next level.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy too because speaking on what Ty just said, I wonder like years from now when they show highlights from this draft where they show like just all digital junk. Like it's really all you can do.
Right. I'm talking about like I was supposed to be in the crowd watching TT get drafted. You know what I'm talking about? But
what people got to do is when they about to get drafted, since everything's gonna be visual, they got to make it creative, make it like interactive. I guess you know what I'm saying. Like I know you gotta be social distancing, but I don't know. They gotta figure out something to make it creative. You know what I'm saying? They can get dressed up still, but like I don't know. Do something.
Are they gonna hold up the jerseys?
Right. It's gonna be crazy.
They're gonna get the hat.
How's that gonna work?
Yeah, you probably gonna see some people who are not social distancing at all. You'd be like, are they having a party over there? 100.
Yeah, in there. If I was getting drafted, everybody in here.
It's not like you can send a camera crew to somebody's house just because of the time we're in. So.
Right. Everyone's gonna be FaceTiming.
Oh, everybody gonna be on Zoom. They're gonna have a Zoom draft.
I thought this NBA season was gonna be like one of the best seasons we had in a long time too. I just felt like that was coming. It's gonna be some of the best seasons in a long time.
I think the next season would have been with Kevin Durant coming back.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
But yeah, let's try to shift focus a little bit, get off the depressing stuff, and talk about something else. So kind of sticking on this whole, you kind of mentioned the Michael Jordan documentary coming up. I saw this post on IG the other day that I thought was pretty interesting. I thought that we could probably talk about it. They were basically talking about wonder if LeBron was on the 90s Bulls instead of Jordan, and how you think that whole franchise would look with LeBron at the helm instead of Jordan.
We're talking about like current LeBron or like young LeBron? Does it matter?
Can we say?
I guess current LeBron, because can we? Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess it doesn't matter. I guess because just like Jordan had to grow up and figure it out as he went. I guess you can't say when you had the best version of LeBron all those years in Chicago, it wouldn't be fair. It would be
every year he's
draft LeBron, draft LeBron through current was on that version of the Bulls instead of Jordan.
Not one, not two,
not two,
not three, not four,
not five. We wouldn't be having a conversation about Michael Jordan right now. Like,
First
who's
of all,
Mike?
clearly.
I mean, technically you wouldn't because Jordan wouldn't have been on that team. But
Are you saying that Jordan is a product of his environment? Is that what you're alluding to?
Let's make this question a little bit more interesting. Let me modify it. So the question originally was if LeBron was on the Bulls. Let's just flip it. Let's say if LeBron was on the Bulls, what do you think the difference would be? And if Jordan was on all the teams that LeBron were on,
all right,
what do you think the difference would be?
This is easy. You remember Kyrie on the Cavaliers before LeBron came back?
Wow. You saying Jordan like that?
He'd be scoring a lot of points and they'd be losing.
Oh,
exactly. I agree, Terrence.
I'm not saying that he would be bad. I'm saying he would be scoring a lot of points and they would be losing.
He'll be an all-star. He'll be an all-star.
Well, okay.
He'll be an all-star.
So the first 7 years of Cavaliers, he would not have played the Spurs in 2007. Okay. When he went to D-Wade and Bosh, he could have won. He could have won there, definitely. That's a good team. And then
when he had won every year though.
I don't know.
D-Wade and Bosh, I think they would have won because I like how LeBron did 2-4.
Yeah, 2-4. Yeah, keep in mind Jordan is a dog now. Would he have won every year?
I know Jordan is a dog, but Jordan wouldn't have got those other players involved as much as LeBron would have. Is what I'm getting at. Like, if you look at the teams LeBron had, like the first team LeBron had when he made it to the finals.
I don't know, because I think.
Have you seen that roster? Have you seen that roster?
Oh, that thing was trash.
Yeah. I'm not saying that they weren't trash. They were trash, but I think he could have got it done in Miami.
Yeah, in Miami, yes, he could have got it done.
I'm thinking he was on top of the Cavaliers.
He got 2-4. He was just like LeBron did. I think if Jordan would wait to Bosh and D-Wade, they would have got 2 out of the 4.
I don't know, bro. I don't think Jordan would have got clapped by the.
You're right. I'll give you that.
I don't know,
I think that average was that would have been one that.
But the Spurs probably would have. The Spurs probably would have won.
The Spurs would have won though.
Because you got to think about it. I think.
I don't know. It's funny because like that whole out of those 4 championships, they were just as close to going like 0-4 or 1-4 as they were from winning 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 4.
Right.
So
yeah, that's true.
The only one that was LeBron's fault was the Mavericks one because he played like 18 points per game or something. It was bad.
I mean, it wasn't he was playing bad, but 18 points is not bad in the NBA. It was bad for LeBron.
Yeah,
LeBron. For LeBron.
18 points.
Yeah,
is
LeBron,
a role player.
18 points, you can get a max deal with that.
But see, LeBron is the best player. Not saying that Jordan.
Go ahead, G.
Go ahead. No, you got it.
Okay, I was going to say, but then the one that he lost to the Warriors, nigga about averaged a triple-double. He balled. Yeah, it was like, 35?
We were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
I'm stupid. Like, he really should have won the MVP, even though they lost that series. That was the first time I'm like, this nigga still deserves the Finals MVP. I don't give a damn about Andre.
Exactly.
Like, he deserves that.
Exactly.
But you put LeBron on them Bulls teams?
Yeah, I think.
With Dennis Rodman and Pippen?
That man.
He might.
Yeah, 95 through 98.
He ain't going to play baseball for 2 years.
And they're not gonna blackball him or like they did. They say they kicked Jordan out the league, but they're not gonna do that, LeBron, because he's a model citizen and everybody's out. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't be no if he was good enough or anything like that. That man will be in a class of his own, no matter what.
And then he would have Phil Jackson too. So he probably would be even better at
Mike
that
Brown.
age.
Yeah.
Nah,
Mike Brown. What you want? Yeah, Paul.
Look, hey.
I'm
it's crazy though, cause like
kick him out this conversation.
Look, I'm not saying that Jordan isn't, but like, LeBron is a special type of player. So I in all honesty, I feel like you can put him in any generation of basketball existing and he'll dominate. So with saying that, do y'all think that LeBron is better than Jordan?
Yeah.
Well, let me go back and say this. You take LeBron away from his team, but today, what happened?
Trash.
Super trash.
You take Jordan away from the Bulls. What happened? They lose.
They're going to the finals.
They went to the playoffs.
Games and make
They gonna lose.
They lose the Western Conference Finals, I think. Still, the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
Yeah, they went to the Eastern Finals.
That shows you how much impact LeBron has on those particular teams he was on.
Scottie Pippen almost won a damn MVP himself.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
LeBron would have made Scottie even better.
Oh, that's the question. If Scottie would have did that, the year Jordan left, how would they speak about his name after that?
Yeah, you can't.
Would they say he was better?
If Scottie get a MVP with Jordan now, I don't know if you can call Jordan the GOAT.
They disrespect Scottie because he played with Jordan. But Scottie was a dog.
Exactly.
They keep forgetting Scottie was a dog.
Scottie was a dog too.
Yeah.
And just like they disrespect my boy Charles Barkley because he played in that era against them dogs. But Charles, that guy now. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah. Although
Draymond don't think so.
To LeBron, to compare to LeBron, he had to play with an MVP himself and another All-Star just to get his first ring. So you got to have talent around you. You can't do it yourself no matter what. Ain't nobody.
Yeah, and if
like, they want you to win a championship and you got to win a championship, but bro, like you got to have some help. That's not how the NBA works.
Especially
but in the
Warriors and Celtics and
if you think Kawhi did it by himself?
When?
Yeah, but say if you think you can do it by yourself, you're a fool because no one has done it by themselves.
Toronto was good. He just put them over the hump.
Yeah, they were in the finals, the Eastern Conference Finals, year in, or at least the round was right before the finals.
They couldn't get past that boy, that boy, you know, that man, you know.
That man.
That man, you know what I'm
talking about? LeBron was in their head. They had a mental block.
Young man over there. Yep. He was
do you think if LeBron was still in the East that Toronto team with Kawhi could have got past them?
Yes. Yes.
Nope. LeBron might have took that L.
That year?
He might have took that L.
Nope. Because you don't know who else would have came to Cleveland. You don't know who else would have came to Cleveland. Yeah, last year.
Ooh. They had the same roster? Toronto would have got by them.
No, bro. Because LeBron would have had. LeBron would have made sure. LeBron would have made sure they got somebody in the trade or something. Somebody would have got traded.
You said Kawhi was that much better than LeBron?
No, DeMar DeRozan.
I was gonna say,
hey,
boy.
You gonna make Taj fight you?
I was gonna hang up. Listen, LeBron would have put on, got it. Who? LeBron would have went into that office and said, "Listen, I need somebody else. They just got the claw. We gotta find somebody to come help me out. Don't think LeBron ain't in that office.
Who's coming to Cleveland?
Bro, you telling me they could have got all these people.
Who coming to Cleveland?
I don't know.
Who is coming to Cleveland?
Do you see how many people that went to Cleveland while LeBron was? You see how many people Cleveland got while LeBron was there?
How many good people have played?
Before LeBron played there,
how many good people have played for Cleveland?
Derrick Rose, D-Wade,
Derrick Rose,
okay, Derrick Rose is not a Hall of Famer? He's not gonna be an Hall of Fame? Hell no!
I don't think so.
That injury.
Look, I'm a Rose fan.
The youngest MVP.
I'm a huge Rose fan. I'm a huge Rose fan. How many good?
The youngest MVP.
How many seasons did he have at that level?
But listen, he playing good now.
2, 3.
He playing good now.
Exactly. That's not Hall of Fame.
He playing good now.
So we'll say it this way. Is Derrick Rose arguably the rings to Hall of Fame? Because to me, they got similar type 2-3 seasons on top, and then they just fell off.
I think they're
more than Steph Curry before Steph Curry. Stop playing.
His was legal stuff. You know, he got involved with that.
Yeah, he got kicked out. I think he got kicked out because of guns.
But look, his reputational damage that he probably won't be able to get over.
Right.
But Gilbert Arenas was a dog now. Like, he was a dog.
Dog.
They were.
Yeah.
But guess who he can't get past?
He gave Brian that work a few times.
Yeah, he
did. But at the end of the game, LeBron shook his hand and said, "Good job. I'll see you
Play
next
for
year.
Washington, though.
You got it.
Yeah.
When the last time
We
when the
moving
last
on to
time
the
you know
next round.
Washington to win?
LeBron played for Cleveland.
I'm
Same
still
thing.
I'm still waiting for you to tell me all these good players that was in Cleveland. Go ahead.
Don't
think
he
I-
played with the Garcia, bro?
Kyrie.
He
Who?
played with
Kyrie was
Bajounian.
Kyrie was drafted by Cleveland. Man.
You can't
Darren
say Kyrie
Williams?
he was drafted though.
Who?
Darren Williams.
The last time Darren Williams was good when he played for the Jazz, probably. Next,
Come on, bro. He got 2 gold medals.
Darren Williams was at the top of point guard. He was up there with Chris Paul at one point, and then he just
He played with Ricky Davis.
who?
Did he play with
He
Ricky?
did play with Ricky Davis.
His rookie year?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who?
He played
Yeah.
Ricky. Yep. Ricky Davis.
Bro.
Who?
Yeah, with the Braves. With the Braves.
When I think
Ricky Davis,
when I think
bro.
of Ricky Davis, I think of Darius Miles. Same player, man. Next.
Don't be, hey,
Right.
don't play Darius Miles now.
Hey man, you gonna get off the B Miles, bro.
For real.
But they was straight though. They was tough. But I'm just saying, who would have came to Cleveland besides Kevin Love got traded though?
Because LeBron made it happen.
Kevin Love won.
Like,
Kevin Love is really the only one. You guys,
Because even the first time it was that they could not
willingly
get nobody to come to Cleveland.
But no, that's also Cleveland blowing the bag, bro. How you get 4 number 1 picks in 15 years, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So you had
LeBron,
trash.
Anthony Bennett,
You had Anthony Bennett, don't really count, and then you
Tristan
had
Thompson. Was he number one?
no,
Kyrie.
Kyrie
was number
Colin
1.
Sexton.
dang.
Colin Sexton.
Andrew Wiggins.
Colin Sexton.
That was Andrew
And
Wiggins.
Colin
with
Sexton.
Minnesota.
Oh, Andrew
Colin
Wiggins.
Sexton was number 7 though.
Oh, they traded
Andrew
him
Wiggins.
initially. They traded him before he even played. Didn't
Except for good. I'm glad he did because he didn't show me nothing yet. So go ahead.
Hey, bro, he would
He
have been a monster on LeBron, bro.
he could be tough though. Like if he had any work ethic, he would be tough. I think because like
Yeah.
look at he. I mean,
He did him
perfect.
wrong though.
Who? LeBron
Him.
said I need a shooter. LeBron said I need a shooter. Get Kevin Love over here.
I think long-term play, it might have been better to go ahead and stay with Wiggins and like let that team develop. But they got a championship
Right.
out there, so you can't really, you can't even argue with it. So
They
beat the best team.
dog.
They beat the best regular team.
Kevin Love and turned them into a spot up shooter.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Speaking of the Kevin Love, that's my cousin by the way, y'all.
Anyway,
I
but yeah,
see where it comes from.
but anyway, we can move on. So yeah, as we approach the end of the podcast, we do have like a reoccurring segment that we want to do. We're calling it Artist versus Artist. It's basically just a debate of two entities. It could be anything from 2 individuals, 2 philanthropists, their impact on society, to 2 athletes, like we said, Michael Jordan and LeBron, who we think were better, to like an actual artist, like musician, or even albums, like any debate of 2 things. And basically we're just going to talk about it, give our opinion on it, and see which one we think was better. So for this first episode, I wanted to bring on one that is funny. It's kind of like an inside joke because it's come up so often by mistake, and it's something that we kind of argue about on the low. And I hate to start the first episode with this argument, but I thought it would be a good one for the first episode, because that way the people who are listening or watching, they can give their opinion as well as like the comments and stuff, and we can definitively come up with an answer to this question. Which album was better for Drake? More Life or Scorpion? Now,
None of them.
now,
I guess if we going off such a bad album, it would be Scorpion.
well, let me lay the landscape. So I've said, I mean, don't get me wrong, More Life is got some bangers on it, but my whole argument with the More Life thing is More Life had like 23 albums on the 23 songs on the album, and I say probably like 9 of them are bangers, like they slapped. But Scorpion has a smaller track list with probably around the same amount. So that's why I say that Scorpion is probably a better record.
Don't Scorpion got side A and side B?
Scorpion got 25.
It's got the R&B and the rap side too.
Scorpion got 25.
Well,
I think More Life got 22.
Damn, and so I forgot it was two.
You forgot about half the shit.
It's 2 parts, man.
You
Yeah.
forgot about half of it. That's the tone right there. More Life, bro.
I'm pretty much saying to this, neither one of those were classics, but I'm gonna go with Scorpion.
I mean,
I agree, but More Life.
I would have said More Life versus None Was the Same, but I hope all of us think None Was the Same is the better album.
I'm gonna say it this way about More Life. More Life is slept on, bro. More Life is one of the smoothest tracks, smoothest front to back that Drake has made, bro. More Life is one of the ones that you put on, and it's like you said, it's a playlist. Like for me, it's like an experience. More Life is good, but you got like a glass of wine or whatever, you kind of vibing out. You got music, like More Life is the track you put on in the background. That's More Life.
And let me give a frame of reference. I'm just gonna give out a couple songs on both albums just to give people like an idea of like
give me some context.
We're talking about. So More Life has songs on it such as Georgia Interlude, 4422, Blam, Portland featuring Travis Scott and Quavo,
Banger.
Teenage Fever. Do Not Deserve, Glow with Kanye West, just like bangers. Then we go to the Scorpion side. It has songs such as Nonstop, Elevate, Mob Ties, Jaded, In My Feelings, Finesse.
Rolling.
But like I said, so can't take a joke. But like I said, that just give you a frame of reference of the two albums. Don't get me wrong. So let me say this. I will say this because like I said, I bang with More Life. But let me say this: had the question been of these two albums, which one has the best song on it, I would have said More Life because I've played Teenage Fever no less than 2,000 times.
I knew you being your
Teenage
feeling.
Fever is jumping, but.
You been drinking?
As a collective,
been drinking and driving during this quarantine.
Right.
all the time. Look, people hit me up on Instagram like, man, stop drinking and driving. Like, man, look, it's slap. But I don't know. I think I'll roll with Scorpion just because I fuck with Jaded and all that stuff.
No, man, I'm gonna go with More Life for sure. Yeah. It's more like encompassing. It's got everything. It's like what you said. It's like a playlist basically.
Yeah. Oh, tell me, what did you say it was? What did you say it was, Everson? What was the word you used for it?
That's what he said, right? It's like a playlist.
Yeah.
No. Before that, yeah, exactly. What was the big word you used?
Oh, encompassing.
Encompassing.
That's all. If I bring that out for the
Theory,
next
what does
podcast,
encompassing
you know
mean?
If I bring that out on the next podcast, it's gonna come to me. I know where it came from because I was like, "Ooh, I like that."
So we got two for More Life. What you say, Ty?
I think I like More Life because it's comfort. Say it again.
Oh, God.
I like More Life. I like that. What he said. What Abhishek said.
I'm gonna go with Scorpion, but I'm probably gonna have to re-listen to them both because I haven't listened to them in a while, and then I can retouch it next week.
All right. Extra credit because I ain't like the way the room went when I said this. More Life or None Was the Same.
Nothing was. Come on, bro.
I was saying, man.
I literally worked out the first 3 years of my life to that album, bro. Every day I was in the gym. That's what I would listen to.
What was on Nothing Was the Same?
Come on, bro. Don't say that, bro. Come
Stop.
on, bro.
From the bottom. Hold on.
Come on, bro. Wu-Tang Forever.
Oh, okay.
Come through.
Okay.
Too much.
Come through. Come on, bro.
Oh, Come Through.
That's
when he was like,
oh,
bro.
305.
Yeah,
that's
the one, Taj. That's the one.
That's the one. Okay,
City.
That's the one.
Yeah,
Let me get in my pan. Hold on. That's what it said. Okay, I like that one. I like that one. Yeah.
I can go. I go
that
out
one.
with Drake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just making sure.
As long as we all say Drake's best album is what, then I'm cool.
Take
with
Care.
it. What is Drake's best? Okay, that's all
Take
right.
care.
What?
I don't know. I
Take
can go
care.
back and listen to
What?
Thank
him.
me
I can go back and
later.
listen to him.
What?
Thank me later. The first
What?
album ever you ever think. The best album.
What?
What a time to be alive, or if you're reading this, it's too late, bro. One of them two.
What?
Look, that could be a topic for another day.
Ty's answer was worse than that.
No.
I guess by process of elimination, More Life is the sound victor of this.
It's
Yeah, I mean, but that's pretty much all I have for it. Any closing thoughts or anything you guys want to wrap up and talk about?
Yeah, I would say bringing it back. I'll say bringing it back around and make sure prayers for everybody that's out there that's going through complications with the current pandemic, COVID-19. Anybody who's lost somebody, definitely prayers for you and your family. And then just as a whole America and the world, I hope we get through this, and we will get through this. And we just gotta kind of bide our time and just continue to stay home, stay safe. So.
Amen to that.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Get all the toilet tissue you need. Go get your groceries. Sit at your house. Get a mask. Make sure y'all being safe out here.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug. Seth put me on. Instacart is the GOAT. Is the GOAT. Like, look, I ordered some groceries today at 10:27 a.m. and they got delivered to my door at like 11:55. So like, Instacart is the GOAT. But yeah. So like I said in closing, I want to thank everybody.
Sneeze all over your cheese.
I want to thank everybody for taking the time out, you know what I'm saying, to kick it with us on the first episode. We look forward to making more of these for you in the future. Like Seth said, y'all stay safe, be blessed, and stay home if you can. And with that, we'll see you on the next one.
Hey, I got a question, Audrey, real quick before we head out. How do you think this podcast went tonight?
You know, tens across the board for me. You know what I'm saying?
No, wrong answer. How do you think this podcast went tonight?
What do you want me to say?
Fairly decent.
You're
right.
baiting me. Fairly decent.
Oh, that's actually good. That was so clever. Yo, that was so good, man. Oh God, we gotta record that.
Okay. Yeah. My bad. It went fairly decent, I suppose. Fairly decent.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, man.
My B. Yeah. It's been another fairly decent one. We'll holler at y'all next time.
Clearly, we out.